Hi, this brand new video focuses on companies and institutions and individuals having short, mid, or long-term healthcare business or immediate altruistic interest in Africa and other pre-emerging countries. My name is Bob Britting. I'm the president of Health Initiatives, a healthcare process and communications company. Health Initiatives also focuses on the most advanced behavioral engagement strategies using something we call emotional science. We also work with marketing and sales to develop programs that are manifested from the science we apply to the healthcare professionals and consumers in the healthcare industry. But this video is about my business partner, Michael Kiaga, and my altruistic endeavors in Africa. The organization is called the African Institute for Medical Education, or AIM. AIM provides interested parties with an opportunity to work with us to develop incredibly valuable medical education and training to those people who need it. Our programs also can result in organizations that work with us in gaining a foothold in countries, with AIM acting as a conduit. In the end, however, our goal is to, of course, provide the most advanced education training to medical professionals and, by extension, consumers and patients across the country. But our programs are not limited to just Uganda or the African countries we've targeted. The basic premise of our endeavors is there is a distinct need in pre-emerging countries. Let me take you through some examples. In Uganda, for example, 20% of the maternal deaths is attributed to malnutrition. And in the same country, 64% of the pregnant women are actually anemic. And unfortunately, 20% of the babies in Uganda die before they even turn 5 years old. If one looks at the number of infant mortality rates per 1,000 live births, you look at Burundi, Tanzania, Rwanda, Uganda, Kenya, they're all above 40. The United States, it's only 6. But these problems are not just limited to Africa. If you look at Brazil, India, Peru, Venezuela, and compare them to the United States, for example, you'll find that there's a major discrepancy there as well. All of AIM's programs are developed in the United States, but they're reviewed by the health minister in Uganda, Dr. Bernard Kiwanuka. The other person that you see in the slide is Dr. Elizabeth Thomas, an assistant professor at Drexel University and a pediatrician in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. AIM arranged for Dr. Thomas to work side by side with the health minister to implement our latest program, focusing on pregnant women and their babies and malnutrition. AIM is also endorsed by the former ambassador to the United States, Perezi Kumananwari. He's also a trusted advisor along with the health minister. AIM works, and it's proven. 97% of the healthcare professionals in our first program ranked the training a 9 or a 10. Our most recent program also garnered serious high marks. 90% ranked the training a 9 or a 10. However, we are constantly striving to provide the best training on the continent. There are 10 components that typically make up the training programs. First is healthcare training, of course. However, all of the training considers the cultural nuances associated with an individual country or village. Second is patient engagement techniques. Third is patient education. In effect, how do we teach the patient what we just taught the medical professional? Fourth is diagnosis. And fifth is signs and symptoms. Sixth includes diagnostic testing. Seventh is triaging. Eighth is how do I get them to a facility. Ninth is diet and malnutrition programs. And last but not least, identification of specialists and specialist institutions for advanced care when it's needed. Many times the healthcare professionals cannot make it to the central location for training, so we arrange to go to them in rural areas using automobiles and vans. Whenever we can, however, we pay for their transportation to the Central Training Center. In our latest program, it was the Mukawa Hospital. To some, this process may seem like just plugging a hole in a dike. In our studies, we learned that each medical professional sees or treats more than 2,000 unduplicated patients a year. In our last program, we trained 40 medical professionals. This translates to their interfacing with close to 80,000 patients in just 1 year alone. So far, we have a consumer and patient outreach opportunity of 140,000 individuals. AIM also has the ability to reach out to virtually all of the healthcare providers in Uganda using a proprietary database. AIM can also incorporate webcasting and SMS texting to educate on a more massive basis. Let me share with you some amazing statistics. Each of these slides will start off with prior to AIM and end with they do now. So I won't repeat that to keep the video short as possible, but you'll get the point. When I use the term medical professional, I am focusing on nurses and midwives and other healthcare professionals, primarily in the villages, who treat more than 90% of the overall population of the country. 9 of 10 medical professionals knew less than 30% of the overall educational content. Only 3 of 10 medical professionals knew even 50% or more of the malaria education that's provided. Only 6 of 10 medical professionals participants knew 50% or more of the tuberculosis education. Only 3 of 10 medical professional participants knew 50% or more of the HIV/AIDS education. I'll continue just a little further. Only 3 of 10 medical professional participants knew 60% or more of the diabetes education. And 83%, that's 83% of medical professionals did not know all of the malnutrition medical education materials that were provided by AIM. 14% of the medical professionals did not know that cultural or traditional rituals, we're talking about witch doctors, for example, should not play a part in diagnostics and treatment. Our programs are more or less turnkey. Choose a country, we pull from our pre-designed packages, we make necessary changes, and begin implementation. We're flexible to finding ways to work together as long as it serves our ultimate goal of advancing the medical education levels in pre-emerging countries, decreasing mortality and morbidity rates, and increasing the quality of life for their citizens. The following is just a summary. First, you can purchase one of the proprietary modules already produced. We could produce a custom program for the disease specific to your needs. Third, we can actually send a professional to a country, either yours or ours, to train medical professionals and work hand in hand with the health minister. And now the cost. All these programs are about 25% of what it would cost for you to produce these yourselves. We're finally at the end of the video, and we'd like to thank you for taking the time to view and listen to the video. We hope it was helpful. If you're interested in getting involved, just freeze this last slide and you'll be able to get our information.